Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Solarmoon, and I'm sorry guys, I have not put a video out in quite a while. I work 50 hours a week right now at least, so it's been a very busy schedule for me, and I've been kind of on the downside with my YouTube because, thank you guys for one, I finally hit over 1,000 subs, which is absolutely amazing guys. I've been working so long to even hit that, and then as of recording this, I believe I'm like 1,300, almost 1,400 or something like that, which is absolutely awesome, guys. I can't thank you guys enough. I plan on doing some kind of giveaway or something soon. I'm just trying to think of something good that all players can get, because I can't like do like a 10 mil meso giveaway or something like that because you guys are cross servers and stuff. So anyways, I'll probably make a whole video on that, but I wanted to kind of get into this video and show you guys on how to play a support buff priest. Now what that it means is this build does like 0 damage. Like, I mean, of course it does damage, but compared to like my 4K wizard, 4.5K wizard or something like that, I do like a fourth of what he can do, or my assassin, even though this guy's like 4,800. And the reason that is because I limit all damage I can do on this and put it all in buffs or in healing. And what that does is it buffs your allies to make them do insane amount of damage constantly, and you have increased healing so you guys can actually stand and stuff if it means you're gonna kill something faster. Because especially on like Belrog, there's a lot of stuff that you're gonna dodge, and when you start to dodge that over and over and over, you're losing like a lot of time. And a perfect example of that is if you're on Belrog without a knight, you have to run around on them pillars and stuff, right? What is that? He does it twice, so maybe that's like 30 seconds. So that's just that alone is like 30 seconds of downtime that you're not getting DPS the boss because you're running to the platforms, guys. So what this does is a lot of mechanics stuff like that normally you'd run from, that usually a priest could heal through if your gear is good enough. Now that's not an excuse just because you have a priest you can go stand with. Please don't do that. I'm just saying a priest is there to, if you make mistakes, the priest can actually heal you through it most of the time and keep you guys alive. So enough on that, guys. Let's get straight into this build here. And what we did is we put 3 of 10 in Celestial Light. Now this is going to be the main skill that you're going to spam constantly, and you should never stop spamming this unless you're in need to heal. But just remember, don't tunnel. Keep an eye on your enemies, but your allies on their health bars. Even if they're 80% and you're by them, top them up. There is no reason not to top them up. Your damage doesn't even matter. You're just a bonus for them, right? So this is what this build is all about. So if they're 80%, hit a heal. It's that quick. Go back to DPSing again. Don't let them get to 50s and say, well, I better heal now. No. If they're 80%, top them up. They're 95, top them up. There's no reason, guys. You're a priest. You need to heal. Please don't be a DPS priest until you're more experienced in the class, which I'll be making a whole nother guide on that. But moving on, we went 3 of 10 Holy Blast. To be honest, guys, I never use this. I don't. Not with this build. There's not many fights that you can actually get away with using it, or even it's just honestly not needed. So only the points are in there technically, so we can move on to Shield of Archon. And what Shield of Archon's gonna do is this is gonna give you some resistance, which is gonna take some damage off, and it does damage to the boss. And what it does is it puts a little circle thing around you. Anything in that circle is automatically gonna take damage. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but the main reason you have to put 1 point in this is just to get that resistance for certain mechanics where you know you're going to take a lot of damage. You can soak some of the damage and stay alive a little bit easier, and it does a little bit of damage, so it's pretty cool. It's not a must-have, but I personally would recommend it. Alright, so moving on. Healing Prayer. This is your bread and butter right here, guys. You are going to be spamming this constantly. When someone's hurt, healing power, no matter what. Don't be scared. It doesn't take much. It takes like 15 spirit. Like, you can spam this skill, guys. Don't be scared to heal or over heal. Like I said before, and you're going to say this many times, guys, your DPS does not matter with this build. You are a support buff build. So all you're doing is buffing and healing constantly and making your team clear stuff faster and letting them basically it's kind of hard, but they can actually stand stuff that normally they wouldn't. Because say like I'm trying to think of a good example here. There's a lot of stuff that you can basically stand in that you wouldn't normally stand in. But I'm not saying don't go out and stand in stuff, but if you're trying to do something like that, you're trying to speed run, there's some things that your priest can heal you through, like a little dot, that normally you wouldn't want to do because you're going to have to potion, 2 or 3 times to get rid of that dot, to heal through it. But this, the point of this is, guys, that priests heal. I see a lot, it makes me angry because I see a lot of priests out there that are DPS, and I'm thinking, I'm at 50% HP, guys. I need a heal. I see my priest over there attacking the boss. I'm thinking, you could push one button and heal me up, But anyways, guys, let's keep moving here. We went 3 of 10 on Scorching Wave. Now, this is another one where I only put points in this so I can get down the tree farther. I macro Scorching Wave and Celestial Light together. And that is going to be the macro that you're going to constantly spam. You can spam it, both of those together, and it does not run out of spirit. Like, the game works just enough where you're going to constantly still have spirit, and you're going to keep gaining spirit. So don't be scared. You can hold down. Like, I got it bound to number 1. So it'll use my Celestial Light and my Scorching Wave constantly. And I just use that as a filler. It isn't much damage, but it does help. Especially on like Balrog and stuff when I'm running back on the ads, save my range DPS or just not focusing ads, something like that. I'll run back and I'll kill the ads solo. It might take a little bit, and it takes some of the focus off the boss and healing away from my allies that are on the boss still. But somebody's got to kill the ads, right? So that's a good thing with a priest. I mean, if you get these pugs that you get with, man, people are just not with it. They don't care. They're just focusing a ton on the boss. So that's just one thing. But moving down to that, Sanctuary, this is an amazing, amazing heal. I recommend 10 of 10 in this, and because there's a lot of fights where you want healing down, where you might be forced to move, and you might not make it back to that spot, but someone else is going to be in the area. And what this is, it puts a big old cross on the ground, and anybody on those tiles will constantly get healed as long as they're on one of those tiles. So it's really good. So when you guys are stacking up, it's great because when that's down, it's healing everybody, so you can actually damage something or do something else to keep this stuff moving forward. So I definitely recommend 10 out of 10 on that, guys. Moving on, we do have Celestial Guardian. This is okay. It's better technically for like a DPS build, but you have to put points in it technically to get down the tree. And what it does is summons a little angel. But the angel is very important to keep out, but the effect of the angel for this skill, it just increases your magic attack. So it's good, don't get me wrong, it helps you do more damage and stuff, but not really necessary as much. But for the next skill, you're going to see why we got to have Celestial Guardian, which is the little angel, that you're going to constantly spawn this. There's no reason to ever, like if it goes away, you're doing something wrong. Because this next skill is going to be Celestial Blessings. Now what this is going to do, this is where the whole buffing stuff starts to come into play. When that Celestial Guardian is out, this has a cooldown of, let me see, 11 seconds. So Celestial Blessing has 11-second cooldown. And what it does, it does a huge heal. Absolutely huge heal. You can full heal everybody. As long as they're in range, I think it's 6 meters. So if there's 6 meters around you, you can heal everybody to basically full health. Mine usually crits for 3k plus, so everybody gets fully topped off, which is amazing. But not only that, it buffs everybody, guys. It gives them like a 6.4%, or based on how many points in. Like for me, it's 6.4%, but you might, if you're a lower level, you might not have all your points into this. But a 6.4% increased damage buff. Like, guys, that is a lot of damage. Like, and it lasts for 10 seconds. And it's on 11-second cooldown. You see how it works? If you can constantly keep this up, if you're doing this right, you're going to keep your damage for a lot of characters, and everybody's going to get in a buff, and you're going to speed your runs up. Now, you can't always spam this, because sometimes your group splits. It's your call on if you want to pop this, if there's only 2 people around, or like 3. I recommend try to do it as close as you can. If you know you're going to get ready to like move or something like that, if you could run to your group and hit it real quick and give them that buff for a couple more hits, it could really speed up your runs constantly. Definitely must have as well. So you want 10 out of 10 on that. Moving down, Holy Symbol. This is going to put a big circle buff on the ground. This is your bread and butter, and if you mess this up, everyone's going to see you do it. You need to plan this. It is on I think it's like 3-minute cooldown. So, you gotta prep for this, and you gotta kind of know when you want to place this on the ground. I can't tell you when to place this. There's a lot of fights that you're gonna, the bosses do different stuff, and you kind of have to watch and you'll learn when to place it. But what it's gonna do is gonna increase everyone's damage, and it's gonna increase their accuracy, and I believe it increases like their region as well. So you basically can constantly spam your skills in this with increased accuracy and increased damage. It's gonna absolutely wreck the boss. So if you're stacking this up, but the problem is you don't want to place this and be forced to move 5 seconds later, because I believe it only lasts for 10 seconds. So I think it's based on how many points you have in it though. Yeah, it's a 3-minute cooldown for 10 seconds. So Holy Symbol is amazing because everybody can see it, and if they're not standing in it, that's their own fault. But absolutely, you can pop all your cooldowns in and absolutely melt the boss, because you got your damage boost from that. You got your damage boost from your Guardian, your Guardian Angel, so it's absolutely crazy damage from that, guys. So 10 and 10 on that. I'm moving down Disciple, and what this is going to do, this is going to increase your, we went 3 of 10 on this, but it's going to increase how long your Guardian Angel's out. So it's, if you don't want to spam your Angel as much, you can have this and it increases, I have it right now, increased to 50% with 3 of 10. So it's pretty good, guys. Not a must. You could definitely put these points somewhere else. So if you are leveling and you're not quite got all your skill points yet, you can get away with not putting any points in this. I just think it makes it a lot easier to play later on. We don't have to constantly spam your Guardian Angel. Moving on. Scepter Mastery. This is another one where it just increases your attack with scepters. You have to put points in this right now to get down the tree. So it's more focused on, you know, damage and stuff, so it's not really a must-have, but I mean, it's a must-have technically to get down the tree, but it's not really helping the build that we're running right now. Moving down, Healing Mastery. Your experience in combat increases the amount of heals and restored. So what this does is it increases the amount of health and spirit restored through skills. This is a big one because it's going to make you get your spirit back quicker. It's going to make your healing do a lot more. This is another one that's going to make the build work better. If you don't have points in this, you're going to notice you're running out of spirit, which is bad. Absolutely bad, because if you're not watching it then, if you're spamming your number 1, you're going to run out of spirit, then you're going to be in trouble when something happens and you can only cast 1 spell, right? So you kind of watch it, so it's definitely, I put 6 of 10 in this. Like, this build can be changed around quite a bit, but this is how I find it to be the best. I've bounced a couple of these skills around, and I keep coming back to the same style of build. I love the buff build. Now, when raids come out, they come out Thursday. We're 2 days away from actually the raids. I might tweak this build a little bit more, because on those raids there's a 15-minute a timer basically, so we're timed. We can't focus on straight healing. We might have to back off on some healing and go focus more damage. Now, I don't want to go back off too much because I want to focus a lot on buffing still. So if anything like dramatically changes and I notice it, I'll probably remake the video on like a DPS hybrid build for you guys. I plan to anyways, but I kind of want to wait to see what raids are to see if this is the main build that we're running, or should we be swapping over to more of a DPS hybrid. One thing I want to touch on, some skills that you could probably adjust and put more points into, is going to be Angelic Ray. I'm 0-10 at right now, and what it is, it's a long range attack that heals us as well. The issue with it I was finding was you have to aim it, and if you're, as a priest, you're constantly moving, you're chasing people around trying to heal them for the most part. So it's good, it takes a lot of spirit. It's so situational, I don't like it. But I've seen a lot of priests use it, which is okay. It does a lot of healing. It'll save your butt sometimes, but I just don't find it to be useful for me in my situations most times. I'm usually right on top of my group, and if I'm not, I'll usually be there in a couple seconds with your dash thing. But anyways, guys, this is the healing buff build. I have had no problem. I can do Battle Rock, I can do all the raids and stuff like that, and I have no problem. I find myself just standing around attacking because you have so much healing that you don't have to spam all the time. But I want to go back and say, just don't be scared to heal, guys. overhealing is fine in this game because no one's actually counting on your DPS as of right now, unless the raid starts to do it that way, which said I'll make a whole nother video for that. So when you're in hard modes, if you're sitting or spamming your healing, no one's gonna care. They're gonna actually be happy they're being healed. So don't be scared of that. No one's gonna get mad if you're not DPS, and this is a priest, guys. Now, just remember, this build will not work if you're out just questing and stuff like that, because you are going to take forever to kill stuff, guys. Like I said, guys, it's a healing buff build. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I didn't go in too much detail on each skills too, but I just wanted to give you guys my build, and it's a good build. Like, my keybinds and stuff are a little bit different. You can set them any way you want. I'd prefer that. I don't want to tell you where to put your keys at, because everyone has their different way they like to play and how they want to like bind stuff. So I just played this way, guys. I'm enjoying the priest, but I find outside of doing hard dungeons and stuff like that, that the priest is very, very boring. It takes forever to kill stuff. So if you main a priest, props to you. I don't know how you do it. I tried. I got my priest to like 4,800 here, and I hit a brick wall. I felt like it was too slow. I had to move to DPS. I've been bouncing main, guys. I plan on making a whole video on an update on my whole account since we've been out for, what, a month now? Anyways, guys, I'm talking about other stuff now, so thank you guys so much. And like I said, thank you guys for over 1,000 subs. I want to make a giveaway video and all that kind of stuff, and I'm just so grateful for you guys for doing that. Maplestory has been a huge success. I've been working so hard on my YouTube, guys. If you guys did find this video useful in any way, make sure you hit that like, hit that sub button, guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one.